Welcome back to Module 9 of this Unit 2 Summarization Measures, and we will be talking about the step deviation method in this module, and this method is used to calculate a standard deviation. Now if you recall, we have already talked about the measures of central tendencies and the measures of dispersions, and in that we talked about standard deviation as one of the measure of a dispersion. And what it does is it measures how much is the variation in the data set, or it is basically the deviation of the data values from its central value, that is the mean. Of course, we have alternately also talked about the other measures of dispersion like mean deviation, range, and quartile deviation, but this is the most frequently used as discussed in the previous modules. So if you have to recall, we know that the arithmetic mean, which we denoted by x bar, it is defined as summation x upon n. It is for ungrouped data, and we defined it as summation fx upon summation f in case I have grouped data, in case I have a frequency distribution table. And in case I have in case I want to find out standard deviation, then the standard deviation is the square root of summation x minus x bar square upon n for an ungrouped data, and we for a grouped data we find it as the square root of summation f into x minus x bar square upon summation f. Okay, and we have very well used this formulae in the previous modules in calculating the mean of the data and the standard deviation of the data. Okay, now the only difficulty while calculating the standard deviation is in case this frequency values or this x values are on a higher side, then these values tend to become little higher. Okay, so in case we are doing it manually, then it's difficult to calculate. Okay. So what we do is we try to decrease relatively the values that we are dealing with by using a shortcut method that is called as a step deviation method. Okay. So in case I have to find out arithmetic mean, okay, we find it by using this formula: x bar is equal to a plus h into summation fd upon summation f, where this a here is called the assumed mean. Okay. This h is the class size, and this d in the formula, they are the deviations of x from its assumed mean. Okay, so as the name suggests, this a is assumed mean, so we assume a mean of the data depending on the data that we are talking about. Okay, and this d is the deviation of this x values in the data set from the assumed mean divided by the class size h. Okay. Let's say, for example, suppose this is the data that we are dealing with, and let us say I want to find out the arithmetic mean of this data. This data is precisely the cost of meals in Chennai. We have already worked with this data before. So I want to find out the mean of this, and we have already found out the mean of this by the conventional method. X bar is equal to summation fx upon summation f, and we had found it to be equal to 40.6. Okay. So that was the mean that we had calculated. So let us find out the mean by this assumed mean formula. Okay. So as the formula suggests, the mean is given by a plus h into summation fd upon summation f. This is the formula that we are following. So the first thing that we do is we assume a mean. Okay, so from the range of data that we are talking about now, this data is between 20 to 70. We assume a value. Okay, preferably inside 20 and 70. We can assume any value that way. But if you consider an intermediate value within the range 20 to 70, so somewhere between say 40 to 50, take it as 45. Okay, so we prefer considering a intermediate value because then it serves the purpose of simplifying the process. Okay, so we assume a mean, and in this case we assume it to be 45. So the assumed mean, assume that this a is equal to 45. Okay, so the classes are here. Of course, instead of 45, I could have also assumed it to be 40 or 50. For that matter, I could have also assumed it to be 70 or even 20. Okay. Ultimately, the answer is going to be the same. But if you take an intermediate value, the values are going to be smaller that we are dealing with. We find out the class marks our usual way. So 20 to 30, we know the class mark is 25. 30 to 40, it is 35. Then next is 45. 55, 65. These are the mid values of each of these classes. Okay. After we find out x, okay, then we find out this d. Okay, as mentioned earlier, this d is the deviation of the x values from the assumed mean. So x minus a divided by the class size, that is h. Okay. Now the class size here is 10. Okay, h here is 10. We know that, and a is equal to 45. So from 45, that is a here, this is 45, we are subtracting these x values. So each of this x value we subtract from this 45 and divide by h, that is equal to 10. This h is 10. So 25 minus 45 is minus 20. Minus 20 divided by 10, we will get minus 2. Then for x is equal to 35. 35 minus 45 is minus 10. Minus 10 divided by h, that is 10, we will get minus 1. Next x value is 45. 45 minus 45 is 0. So you get a 0 here. 55 minus 45 is 10. Upon 10, we will get 1. And 65 minus 45 is 20. 20 upon 10 is 2. So these are d values. After you have found out the d values, okay, remember we need summation fd in the formula. So accordingly we make a column for f into d. So f into d. So we have to multiply these f values with d values that we have found out here. Okay, so I'll get 12 into minus 2, that is minus 24. Then we have 13 into minus 1, which is minus 13. 13 into 0 is 0. 9 into 1 is 9, and 3 into 2 is 6. What we want is summation fd. So we have to add all these values. Okay, minus 24 minus 13 plus 0 plus 9 plus 6. This will come to minus 22. So this is our summation fd. Once I have found out this, then I substitute in the formula. So the formula is this, which we wrote here. Assumed mean is 45 plus h is 10 into summation fd is minus 22 divided by summation f is 50. Okay, so we have to just simplify this. This will be equal to 45. Okay, this will be minus 22 into 10, minus 220 upon 50. That will be 4.4. So 45 minus 4.4 is 40.6, and this is exactly the answer that we have got by the formula that we talked about earlier also. Okay, so what we did was we simplified the procedure. Instead of dealing with the big values like 12, 25, 13, 20, 35, 45, 55, 65, now this computation becomes very easy because we are using this step deviation method. Okay, so like how we have calculated arithmetic mean using this step deviation, or it is also referred to as assumed mean method. Okay, we can also find out standard deviation similarly. So once I have found out mean using this step deviation method, obviously we will find out standard deviation by this as a continuation of this process. So standard deviation is given by this formula in case of this step deviation or assumed mean formula. So standard deviation sigma is equal to h into square root of summation f into d square upon summation f minus summation fd upon summation f the whole square. Okay, the meanings we already know. That is a, that is assumed mean that is involved here. H is the class size, we know that, and d is the deviation of the x values from the assumed mean a. Okay, and this d is basically defined as it is x minus a upon h. So we'll proceed with the same example there which we did in the previous slide, and now we'll find out the standard deviation for this. So I go back to the same data here. Okay, now based on the formula, now we know that the standard deviation sigma is equal to h into square root of, it is summation f into d square upon summation f minus summation fd upon summation f the whole square. Okay, so we find out the class marks first. So we have 25, 35, 45, 55 and 65. Then we find out D. So let us assume again the same way, assumed mean as 45. So accordingly D is x minus a upon h. We know that these values are minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so in the formula what we need is f into d, summation f into d. So accordingly we make a column for f into d. Then we need f into d square. So first I have to find out d square, and then I can find f into d square. So column for f into d square. F into d also we have already found out in the previous case. So 12 into minus 2 is minus 24. 13 into minus 1 is minus 13, 13 into 0 is 0, 9 into 1 is 9, 3 into 2 is 6, and this sum had come to minus 20, the total sum had come to minus 22. Next I find out d square. D square is the square of these d values, minus 2 square is 4, minus 1 square is 1, 0 square, 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4. And finally what I need is f into d square. So now I multiply this frequency values to d square. So 12 into 4 is 48. 35 into 13 into 1 is 13. 13 into 0 is 0. 9 into 1 is 9. And 3 into 4 is 12. And we find the sum of these values 48 plus 13 plus 0 plus 9 plus 12, that will come to 82. So this is our summation fd square, this is our summation f into d. So we substitute these things in the formula. So standard deviation sigma is h, that is 10 into square root of summation fd square is 82 divided by summation f is 50 minus we have square of summation fd, which is minus 22 upon summation f 50. So we have square of this. So we have to just calculate this now. So it is 10 into square root of 82 upon 50 will be 1.64 minus I have minus 22 upon 50 and then square of that will come to 0.1936. So I have 10 into, so I subtract 0.1936 from 1.64 and then I take its square root. What I'll get is 1.203 multiplied by 10 will give me 12.03, and this is exactly the same answer we had found out by the first formula of standard deviation that we talked about. So this is called as the step deviation method or assumed mean method to calculate the standard deviation and the arithmetic mean. Thank you.